August 6, 1945. This was the day when the sun rose twice in Hiroshima, which is a part of Japan. The first one was the natural sun, which rises every day. But the second was a human-made star. A star thought to bring the World War to a quick end, but whose implications are felt even today. Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Everything with Dr. James. As we commemorate the 80th anniversary of Hiroshima bombing, let's see minute by minute what happened in Hiroshima on that fateful day and what are its implications up to today. To really understand what happened that day, we need to understand the background of 1945. The summer of 1945 was the season of ending. This was the time when Germany had surrendered. But Japan refused to surrender. The battle across the Pacific was still waging, claiming thousands of lives every day. There were two battles which occurred just before the Hiroshima bombing. That was the Battle of Iwo Jima and Okinawa. These two battles were a bloodbath both for the Allied troops of USA, UK as well as Japan. But the Japanese were refusing to surrender. They were willing to fight till the last man, woman and child alive, and the Allied troops were not willing to take this risk. As they were moving from one island to the other to the Japanese mainland, the loss of life was projected to be even 1,000,000. They started their Operation Downfall, where they wanted to capture the entirety of Japan, but the projections for loss of life was very huge. That's when they got the idea. Why can't we finish this war with a single bomb? And for this, we need to go back to 1939. This was the time when nuclear fission was invented by Germany. When this was discovered, what happened was everybody in the world got scared that Germany will have the first nuclear bomb. So because of which, under Roosevelt, they started the Project Manhattan in New Mexico desert. As this Project Manhattan was started under the famous Oppenheimer, 130,000 people started working tirelessly to just under one category to unlock the universe secret of nuclear fission. With so much loss of life predicted, the USA were thinking of a quick way to end this war, for which they had 100 possibilities, and the Manhattan Project was happening simultaneously. Now, on July 16, 1945, everything changed. The Trinity test happened and the world's first atomic bomb was tested. Now, USA has an option. They have a single bomb which can cause great destruction and bring this war to a quick end. But still there were ethical considerations, should we use this bomb. This is when the Potsdam Conference was happening. The Potsdam Conference was happening when Germany surrendered and Harry Truman, Winston Churchill and Joseph Stalin were all together in this conference to discuss how are we going to reshape this new world. And this was the time when Cold War started between USA and Russia, and USA wanted to show Russia also what they were capable of. Because of which Harry Truman thought this was the right time to use the bomb for two reasons. The first reason was to finish the war in the Pacific quickly because the Japanese were losing. But what they were not losing is their willpower to fight till the last man. But the Allied troops were not ready to lose this much life for a war which they thought they already won, and they wanted a quick end to this war. And the second reason why they wanted to drop this bomb and finish the war quickly is to show the Soviet Union, the present day Russia, that they have a bigger bomb at hand and Russia cannot try anything bad against them. Now, the decision to drop the bomb was made by Harry S. Truman and the date was also fixed. This was August 1945. Now, they were thinking where to drop the bomb. One of their initial options on table was Tokyo. But Tokyo was already turned into a rubble by a series of Allied bombings, so they didn't want to go to Tokyo because the destruction won't be seen. Then they thought Osaka. But Osaka is a place filled with a lot of cultural heritage and all that will go. So they took Osaka, Kyushu from the picture. Now they thought Hiroshima is the best place to drop the bomb for the main reason that Hiroshima is a place which is largely untouched by war, and it is situated in such a place that it was not even involved in the war. It used to be a place where a lot of military strategies used to take place. Military used to organize themselves there before they go for the war. So the Allied forces thought Hiroshima is the best place to drop the bomb because there is no destruction till now there, and the destruction caused by this atom bomb will be seen as the most important thing in that region, and hence Hiroshima was chosen. Now the date of the bombing came. The date was fixed to August 6, 1945, just a day before. August 5, 1945, in the Tinnan Island, a fleet of B-29 bombers were organized. The commander of this crew was Paul Tibbets. Paul Tibbets named his B-29 as Enola Gay after his mother, who was wanting him to become a doctor, but he chose this pilot and yet he supported her. Flight was named Enola Gay in memory of his mother. The co-pilot in this mission was Colonel Robert Lewis. He also was not informed what bomb they are carrying because they have flew a lot of missions before this and they didn't know what bomb they were carrying. But in this was one Parson. This Parson knew what was there in this B-29 and he was the one who is going to drop the bomb at the correct place in Hiroshima. He was the only one in this crew who knew that an atom bomb will be carried. But for Parson, just a day before, that is on August 5, he saw in the Tinnan Island when a B-29 was taking off, it blasted into pieces. Now he got scared, thinking what will happen with an atom bomb on board, and he takes off and it blasts, the whole Tinnan Island will go. He took a critical decision that he will arm the bomb once they are in the air. On the morning of August 6, 1945, he informed the crew of what bomb they are carrying and he took the critical decision that he is going to bomb the air mid-air when they are safely away from the Tinnan Islands and then go and drop it in Hiroshima. The plan was made. It was 2:45 a.m. August 6, 1945. The Enola Gay took off from the Tinnan Islands. Inside the cabin lies world's first atom bomb going to be used on human population. Now, as the flight took off, the entire crew knew what the rat they are going to bring on the people of Japan, and it was a year of silence inside the cabin. 8 minutes into the flight, Parson went back to the bomb cabin and he began the meticulous process of making the bomb active because he had seen that flight crash the previous day. He didn't want it to happen for this flight because the whole Tinnan Island will go off with the atom bomb. 25 minutes into this process, he successfully activated the bomb. Now, this bomb was headed towards Hiroshima. At around 6 a.m., they reached Iwo Jima. As they reached Iwo Jima, they were taken off with some escort planes because a lot of air raids happen and when you're entering enemy territory, they will start firing. To overcome all that, they took 2 escort planes with them. Around 7:30 a.m., they reached the Ota River. This Ota River is the river situated in the Hiroshima region. From 75 miles only, they could see the city which they are going to bring the destruction upon. Now the question came where they are going to drop the bomb. Previously, they had noted this AOI bridge. This AOI bridge is situated in such a place that it is in the center of the city and it is T-shaped, such that from such height of thousands of feet in altitude from the flight you can see that, because that time they didn't have all these advanced mechanisms there, they can use satellite and map it. So when they were conducting these air recons where they were seeing where to drop the bomb, they found this T shape of this AOI bridge to be very distinct such that they can drop the bomb there. As they approached that place, the sound came, bombs away. Suddenly Enola Gay flight is 9,000 pounds lighter with the atom bomb coming down. Once the atom bomb was released, the pilot took a 155-degree sharp turn such that he will go as far away from the point of impact and they will not be affected by this atom bomb. Once the bomb was dropped, the flight had 2 shock waves. The first shock wave was when the bomb ignited, and the second shock wave was when the bomb's shock wave hit the ground, reflected back and hit the flight, but they went safely away. But they could see the mushroom cloud which was over Hiroshima. Inside Hiroshima, the scene was completely different. Survivors there tell me that they heard something called as Pika Dawn. Pika in Japanese means a flash which is 1,000 times brighter than the sun, which initially incinerated the people there into shadows. These people were incinerated at that moment only, and shadows of them are even present today if we go to Hiroshima. The second was dawn. Dawn is a boom, a loud sound with crushing shock waves happened. Instantly 70,000 people lost their life. What followed next was something called as the black rain. People thought after this blast, the gods have shown some mercy on them and rain was coming. But this was no ordinary rain. This was the black rain which is filled with the radioactive particles and dust coming down. People who were thirsty trying to drink it died instantly because of this water only. By the end of 1945, 140,000 people have lost their lives. I had an opportunity to go to Hiroshima and interact with the people there.
And what they told me was on the day of bombing, there was a sea of destruction. People incinerated instantly before they could realize what happened. They have a separate museum there where they show what happened on the day of bombing, and the scene is very dim, and how people died is very bad. But the city has rose from the ashes, and now, except a few buildings like this, there is no trace of what happened.
2:45 p.m., the Enola Gay landed back in Tinnan Island safely. President Harry Truman announced to the world that Hiroshima has been bombed and the city has been turned into a rubble. And he had a chilling message encoded in this. We have more bombs. If Japan doesn't surrender, we will drop more bombs in more places. But this is a time when people in Tokyo were confused. Already they were thinking whether to surrender or not, and the emperor was also confused. And a secret team from Soviet Union had already gone to Japan in Tokyo, brokering peace talks between the Japanese emperor and them, thinking that more life loss can be avoided. But with this bomb dropped, everybody were shocked. Before till this bomb being dropped, everybody were thinking that war will happen, like people will go there, fight, and the greater team will win. But now a single bomb can destroy a nation. Everybody is shocked now. Everything came to a standstill 2 days after this bombing in August 8, when Soviet Union also declared war on Japan. Now Japan is thinking, how are we going to fight two great nations with such limited resources? And the final nail in the coffin came, the Nagasaki bombing. With two bombs being dropped, the question of USA having one bomb is out of question, and Japanese realized that the USA has more bombs. Now they have to fight a supreme force of USA as well as Soviet Union with no options on the table. On August 15, 1945, the Japanese people heard their emperor for the first time in the radio. He told that he is surrendering because he doesn't want more death and destruction to his people. The story of Hiroshima was just to be a story of ending, to stop a war and start a new era. But it was actually a beginning. Everybody realized what a single bomb can do, and every country came into this race of developing their own atomic or nuclear bomb. And over years, we have seen what that has led to. Do like, share, and subscribe me for more interesting videos.